זו הפרשה ויחי ליום ראשון. ויחי יעקב בארץ מצרים. Ma parasha dit c'est Imaa. C'est une parasha Vayehi Yaacov dit ce parasha c'est Tuma. What does it mean c'est Tuma? That means it's closed. I mean there's no space between the end of the preceding parasha to the beginning of this parasha. Rabbi Yaakov Amar, בשעתה דמית יעקב, הסתימו עיניהו דישראל. Rabbi, who says that? It's just the comment. He said that when Rabbi Yaakov passed away, the eyes of Bnei Israel closed, which means that they went from being free men to starting being slaves. Yehuda Amar, Bikeden Nachti, the Galuta, Ishtravidu Behon. And then it's then, when he died, that they went down into the Galut. Rabbi Shimon Amar, Makitiv Leela, וישב ישראל בארץ מצרים בארץ גושן, ויחזו בה, ויפחו, וירבו מאוד. ורצי ויהי יעקב דלה יתחזה להפחשה בעדה לידה. Rabbi Shimon says what is written right above that. So that Israel lived in Eretz Yisrael, in the Eretz Goshen, and they multiplied me'od me'od. And then right after it's written, Vayehi Yaakov, and Yaakov lived. So one of the reasons is you cannot separate between these two Pesukim. One, that Bnei Israel multiplied, and then Vayehi, that Yaakov lived. Ma'inu kamim betafnukin de malchin v'kibelu anuga v'chisufin negameu. It's like Bnei Israel at that time, they received all this reward. Uf Yaakov na mekayam betafnukin malchin beinuga v'chisufa legameh. He says also Yaakov at this time was also with this pleasures, if we want, that his sons are multiplying and multiplying. That's why it was not separated. That's why it's written Vayehi, and he lived. And it's written that he lived in Israel. Why? Because all his years before he was suffering. He suffered working at Lavan, he suffered the separation of Yosef, etc. Besara ishtakachu ale, yetiv lo shalvati velo shakatati velo nachti. Yabo rogez aval batar denachat leMisraim ikre vayechi. So after all this suffering, when he finally lived in Egypt, we say vayechi, he lived. He saw his son Yosef, the king, and he saw all his other sons, the tzadikim. And he was living amongst them as a good wine. It's an expression to say that he was happy. Vayehi Yaakov. That's why it's written Vayehi Yaakov. Vela parish ben vayifchu vayirbu be'od levayti Yaakov v'achit chazeh. Shevar Shana. For 17 years he lived in Egypt. Mata amar Shevar Shana. Ela amar Rabbi Shimon kol yomo de Yaakov b'tzara avo. Because, like we said, all his days were of suffering. He says, and yes, he was suffering, but when Yosef was born, then he was happy, and he became to be happy. When he used to look at Yosef, he used to see his mother, Rachel. Because the beauty of Yosef was as the beauty of Rachel. And then he was so happy with his son that it's like if he never suffered in his life. ואחד יוסף דרש מיני, כדי קיים לא שבלתי ולא שקעתי ולא נחתי ויבוא רוגז דדקה שיעלה ליעקב מכל מדי עבד. But when he was separated from his son Yosef, when he was sold to the Egyptian, so then he became very sad. And he was even more sad than what he was before. בזמנה דהתפרש יוסף מיני הכתיב. And when Yosef separated from him, what is it written? יוסף בן 17 שנה היה הורה וגומר. יכול להיות מן יעקב לאהבה לשרה כהי. It says it's written that Yosef was 17 years old and he was a shepherd. And all the days of Yaacov were like happy days in those times. But after when he left, then he was crying every day for the 17 years that he was separated from Yosef. What did he tell him from Shamayim? Yosef, Yashit Yado al Necha. Halach Sheva Cheshana Acharanin Beinugim Tefnukim Ve'anaot Amadim. They told him, Yosef will close your eyes, so you'll have another 17 years of pleasure. Vayehi Yaacov be'eretz Yisrael Sheva Cheshana ve'gomer, as it is written, and Yaakov lived 17 years in Egypt. Tana kol inut shenit shechinta yikara dekudsha v'yichurime yishtekach v'yikach chayim ikron. He said, we have learned all these years that the Shekhinah was with him during the 17 years, and that's why we say Vayehi, that he lived. In other words, to live is only possible when we live with the Shekhinah and or in its proximity. Shem Amen.